Hi guys, welcome to this session today. Welcome on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you are not a subscriber, consider subscribing. And thank you so much for showing up. Today I have an interesting topic, how to get American green cards, in other words, permanent residency, or how to get PR, permanent residency in Canada. And you think this is very obvious, but it's not through marriage. Some of you think I just marry and that's it. It's good for us to understand how. What do I need to know? What kind of information do I need to make my chances more successful? I can't thank you always for coming and following and liking and subscribing. So let's get started. Facts, okay? This information comes from uscis.gov, okay? Canada.ca. People can get permanent residency green cards through marriage. It happens. It's the law, okay? Understand that. Having said that, your marriage, number one, has to be legitimate. What does legitimate mean? Legitimate means you actually fell in love, and you genuinely care about each other, and you're probably looking at starting a family. And the most important thing, you must have gone to the government and asked for a marriage certificate. You must have gone to an imam or a pastor or a priest in church to officiate your marriage, okay? Or you can go to the magistrate or the courthouse, wherever the process is for you to get a marriage legally. So that is the most important step. Number two, you cannot be married before. You have to be a single person. You cannot come in with polygamy. Only one marriage, legitimate marriage. Important facts. These are the facts they'll be looking at so that they can know your marriage is legal. Marriage certificate, you must not have intentions of starting a family together. And you say, Janet, but that is so obvious. So what do we do? So your intent cannot just be obvious. So how do people come? First of all, people can come as students. People can come as refugees on asylum or other ways. People can come on a conference. People can come on visiting visa. Any visa you can think of. Of course, J1, you have to go back home. I mean, every visa is different. But all I'm saying, when you find yourself here, just like home or anywhere in the world, you go to church and you meet a significant other. You never know, that will be your husband or wife. You can go out to a restaurant and you meet people. You can go to a park. You can go on a safari. You can go on a trip. Anywhere you can meet a potential partner. So in this case, you're probably coming to the United States. You are probably going to Canada and you meet someone who is potentially marriage material. Okay? And now the next step, after you obtain that marriage certificate, the person cannot just come and say, okay, I came as a student, but now I need a green card because the student visa is not helping me. I can only work on campus, or the visiting visa is not helping me. I can't drive. I don't have a working visa. No, that's not how you think. You really have to genuinely care for this person, and then maybe go through proposals, take those pictures, take those vacations, post it on your social media as a engaged, and then eventually marriage. You're showing your children, you're showing your house, you're showing your dog. Information has to be consistent with what you're claiming. Do you understand? Let's say you go and now apply. What are they looking at? Of course, if you're married, they want to see that you are staying in the same household. And how do they know? You have the same lease, or maybe you bought a house together, something like that. You probably have the same bills, electricity in the same name, water, utility bills, telephone, everything, cell phone bills in the same name. When it comes time to file taxes, you're in the same name. So those are the things they are looking at to see that this marriage is legitimate. So, you cannot claim that your marriage is legitimate when they can't find out you don't even live together. If you don't live together, it's okay. Let's say, for example, you went for a job. They understand that one spouse could be working out of the country. They understand that the other spouse could be working out of state or out of the city. So those things are there, they understand. But what you cannot do is there's just not anything linking you guys together. So that is a very, very important point. Your residency, your utility bills, your taxes, they have to reflect that you are family. Okay? Another common one is family ties. If you go for an interview, immigration interview, and they're asking you about your in-laws, you need to have the information because this is your new family, okay? Do you know your brother-in-laws? Do you know your sister-in-laws? Do you know the grandmothers on the in-law side? Do you know those people? Okay, if they ask you your spouse, her religion and what she likes, you should be able to know. Which church do you guys go to? You should be able to know. Where does your mother-in-law reside? You should be able to know. Your family, they have to see you together and you have that information. They ask you about the birthday, you know. You ask about the aspirations. Where is this person going to school? You know. These things look obvious, but you cannot believe some people. I don't know them. All I know, some people have applied for benefits and they've been denied. And I'm thinking this is why they get denied. Because you do not have the facts. You have to have the facts. You have to have the lifestyle that reflects that you are a marriage couple. Do you understand, my friends? I love you so much for subscribing. I'll come in the comment section when I have time. Okay? But I know you're learning a thing or two and sharing the videos. Okay. Now, this is very important. Okay? This is very important. In as much as some of us come on YouTube and teach you these things, remember, we are not immigration attorney. You have to be listening. Who is this person talking? I can only give you the sources. And for me, I tell you the sources, USCIS.gov, obviously, you'll find the information. Canada.ca, you'll find the information on marriage. But there are lifestyle things that some people have gone through, and they will teach you how it happens. Why do I tell you it's important for you to know what you're doing? Let's say you came as a student. Students on F1 can only work on campus. If you work off campus, you have broken the law. Okay? That is just an example. If you overstay the visa, you have broken the law. What do people who have broken the law do? They find lawyers. Okay? They find immigration lawyers in our case. Just like someone who goes stealing and they are found, they have to look for a criminal law attorney. Okay, I give this example a lot. You know, someone can go and steal, and we have even videos showing that that person was actually stealing. But this person will look for a criminal attorney, and that attorney will prove to the judge that actually this person did not steal. How they do it, I don't know. Same thing with immigration law. If you break the law, do not people assume that immigration law cannot be, enforced. It can be enforced, and actually it's enforced. So if you break the law by overstaying, if you break the law by working without permission, you need to find an attorney to speak on your behalf so that your case can have success. That is my best advice I'll give you. In as much as we save you money, some of us come and blog and tell you what we did on our own. It's because our records were clean. Personally, I applied for citizen myself. I had no problems with law enforcement. My credit was good. My medical was good. I worked. I had a contract. The employer that gave me a green card, I did the right thing. I paid my taxes on time. So when I apply for those benefits, everything has always been straightforward. And so I never needed a lawyer. And so I share with you so you can also do the same. But having said that, there are some people in our communities that have issues. And those issues need to be addressed by the immigration attorney. And I know some of you want to save costs. Okay, cheap is expensive. Okay, it's better you invest money in that attorney and they get you out of problems. That is very, very important. Okay, so now let me come back to how people get permanent residence and green cards in America and Canada for that matter. Okay, keep in mind, when you come on a visa, let's say in this case, maybe student visa, it's called F1. Okay, how do you change that? So this is what happens. If you fall in love, you find a pastor, or you find the courthouse, and you find a legitimate marriage, okay, and you go and ask for immigration benefits based on that marriage, okay, always make sure to know how long it will take. So now, you say the green card will take too long, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, who cares? What they will do, once the attorney files or you file, and the immigration receive the paperwork, of course, you have to go on the website to find the correct forms, they will tell you that they found the information on change of status. What does change of status mean? Once that has been approved, change of status, it means now you do not have to show up in class. The immigration is not going to come to you that you are not in school. The school is not going to report you that you are not attending class. You can attend class, no problem. But if you want to start working, this is the time they will send you a work permit. A work permit is a short time. It only takes a matter of weeks. They'll send you a work permit as you wait for the green card, because they always have something called priority dates. What are priority dates? Priority dates is first come, first serve. Okay, so if you apply in May, okay, your line will start counting from May, because of, they need staffing, they need resources to process your papers. Papers take time. They have to do background checks, they have to do medical, they have to do investigations to make sure they are inviting the right person in the country. Okay, so that's why there's a priority date. It's just a first come, first serve. But meanwhile, you as the applicant, you don't have to stay there desperate without a job. So change of status will allow you to get a work permit. And that will be change of status from F1 to green card or permanent residency, or change of status from visiting visa, B1, B2 to green card. So there will be a change of status. During this period, they will send you a work permit or work authorization card, EAD. How can you use that? That is the one you will take to the Social Security office. In case you didn't know, when students come, they can find a Social Security number and they work on campus. That Social Security, usually there's something written, not allowed to work off campus. I remember mine was written very clearly in a circle, not allowed to work. But once you go through the change of status, now they are changing from student to green card. They give you that work permit. If you take that to Social Security office, now you get a clean Social Security number. It will not have any words. It will just be a clean Social Security number. Number two, you can take that Social Security card and plus your passport, okay, plus the work permits. Now you go to the motor vehicles, you go to DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. You ask for what? A driving license. And then that work permit you give to the employer. You're here to work legally as you wait for what? Your green card, okay? Now, these days, if you marry an American citizen, they have a stipulation where they wait for 2 years to make sure your marriage is legit. Those days, they never used to care. Once you get the green card, it's over. But these days, you have a waiting period for 2 years to see where this marriage is going so that you can see if the marriage is actually legitimate. Okay? So keep that in mind. So that is how it happens with any kind of visa. If you fall in love legitimately and do the right things and ask for immigration benefits through this marriage, those are the things they are looking for. What ties do you have to this person? How are you living? Do you have bills together? Do you live under the same roof? If you are working away from each other, at least you file taxes together. Do you have bills, utilities together? Are you starting a family together? Do you have children together? Do you share a dog? Okay, do you have the same aspirations, going to school, paying for each other bills, helping each other with school fees? Okay, so that is how it happens. And then change of status, the green card might take long, but don't worry, the green card is just one thing. The most important thing is a work permit. When you're here with a work permit, you will do everything else as you wait for your green card to cook, and hopefully one day you can become what? A United States citizen. So that is how it works, my friends. I hope you have learned something. Okay, next time I'll write down. I feel like I forget some of the facts. After I leave the video, I'm like, oh, I wish I told them this. Oh, I wish I told them this. But the most important, always remember, if you have done anything wrong, do not assume that you can handle this situation yourself. This is the time for you to use the services of an immigration lawyer. Here they call them immigration attorneys. Okay, so they can see how they will help you. But of course, as we help you, so you can actually do the right things from day one so that you don't fall in trouble. Okay? So as students, this is one of the ways you can find yourself in a green card as a visitor. Okay, J1 visa, I'll talk about J1 visa. Always, if you come on J1 visa, you have to know that after the end of that J1 visa, you have to go home for 2 years. It's called a home residency requirement. Even if you marry an American citizen, I don't think that they will give you those papers. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. That one, let me not promise. I don't know how that works. But all I know, if you come on a J1 visa, it's important that you go back home for 2 years before you ever come back. Having said that, they have something called a waiver. You can always go read about waivers and what you can do to waive yourself so you can get yourself out of that mess of going back home. Not that it's a mess. But if you want to stay around, okay, if you want to stick around. So this is a way that people, those who are so now you understand, my friends. I hope you learned something. The whole point is don't come here and just think, okay, it's just about marriages. There are things you have to put in place and do them right to make your chances even more successful. And do not be discouraged just because you hear it takes too long. There's always something called an EAD, and work authorization permit. You can always find that and you can always start life with that. Personally, I can give you my story before we end this video. I came here on F1 student visa. My intent was to come to class and go back home. But when I reached here, I realized they needed nurses. And I happened to have a bachelor's degree in nursing. I did the NCLEX. I passed on my first attempt. And then the employer agreed to sponsor me and change my status from student F1 to permanent residency. The green card took almost 2 years to come out, but guess what? The work permit was a matter of weeks. So all this time I was working, driving, having my social security number and everything as I wait for the green card. That is what happened to me. So always remember, don't be discouraged. The work permit is here to transition you. And if you ever need to travel, they also have a travel document that you have to apply for that when you are within this transitioning stage. This stage of changing from F1 student to green card, that period always, there's a document you have to apply. So before you travel, always go and do your research. Before you travel, you want maybe to find an immigration attorney. Don't go out there, then they lock you out because you lacked information. Information is power, okay? Information is power. I can't thank you enough for coming on this video. I love you so much for coming. Merci beaucoup. And by the way, did I talk about working under the table? I think I covered that, okay? Shukran. For those who are following me on Facebook or wherever, I'm taking appointments and I'm taking emails. I'm still making the link, which will go to janetranki.com, where you can sign up for emails. For those who in classes, okay, the rubber has hit the road. Okay, we have started on full speed and we are making things happen. Okay, thank you so much for liking. Thank you for subscribing, for following and doing all those good things. Okay, help each other in the comment section. The comment section is not just for Janet, the comment section is for all of us. Okay, muchas gracias. Merci beaucoup. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much for coming. Kwaheri. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.